Hi, Jamie from Aspire Fitness here, and I'm here with Mark Grimstone, our handy physiotherapist. And today we're just going to have a quick look at Jefferson Curls. It's an exercise for strengthening the ligamentous system in predominantly your lower back and hamstring region. And we're just going to have a look at it and see if it's a good idea for you. So Mark, let's have a look, have a go. So I've just got a very lightweight stick to start with, and we need to make sure that your toes are not past the edge of the step that you're standing on, and grab a hold of that sucker with an overhanded grip. Okay, so from now we're going to roll through your spine disc by disc by disc, just rolling forward. So the first thing we do is we drop the chin to lengthen the back of the neck, then we let the shoulders go, and we work our way down the spine disc by disc by disc by disc until we feel a full stretch. Hold that stretch for a moment. You might even like the abdominals to contract a little and try and almost pull yourself down, and then we start to come back up piece by piece, rolling through the spine all the way back to fully upright and standing. Of course, making sure the shoulders come back and the head rests on top of the shoulders, and that's all good. Once you've got the idea of the move, we'll actually change to holding the weight, but it needs to be a relatively light weight. So again, the same move. We start with a good posture, then we drop the chin, chest, shoulders, and roll our body down. And let that weight stretch you at the bottom there, Mark. Keeping the knees tight into the thighs. Chin right in. Think of the crown of the head moving straight to the floor. Big stretch through the spine there. And then at your own rate, roll back up. Shoulders back. Beautiful. Then obviously you carefully put it down. So we use this exercise quite a lot with people, but it's not appropriate for everybody. Mark, I tend to use this as almost a prehab to stop things going wrong, but it sort of breaks the rules of a normal deadlift, doesn't it? I mean, normally with a deadlift, you want to tip at the hip and maintain that really nice inward curvature of the back and all those things. But then again, with a deadlift, you're picking up, in theory, maximal or close to maximal loads. So a deadlift is very much a muscular exercise, whereas this is breaking the rules and actually going into the wrong shape. So what do you think about that?
I think this shape is something that we all need to get to, particularly for a healthy back. And there's no issue with bending forwards in that sort of way and stretching into full flexion. It's something that our backs are designed to do, designed to move into that particular full flexion. With this particular exercise, the Jefferson Curl, this is a good exercise for a normal healthy back, and it's something that we can certainly move towards with our gym population. Yeah.
Okay, so given that a deadlift is a very muscular-based movement, and as we know, muscle cells regenerate over, say, a 4, 6, or 8 week period, whereas ligament cells take considerably longer than that. I think it'll be important that you don't treat this the same way you would as a weight training exercise. With deadlifts, you come along and you try and do an extra kilo or an extra rep each week, and you can mark it down on your notebook and say, every week I got a kilo stronger. You get that regeneration rate from muscles so much faster than you do from ligaments. You shouldn't really expect to get so much stronger at this at the same rate, would you?
No. This is a range of motion exercise. This is almost like an end range stretch exercise, and so you're not going to be loading up tissues to achieve that stretch. It's a little bit like stretching boot leather. So it's sort of, it'll happen slowly over time, and with a light load moving into that end range flex position, you're going to get a gentle stretch of the connective ligamentous tissue, and that's going to happen slowly over time, particularly if people keep working at it and the weight is a low weight.
Fair enough.
Yeah, it should be a gentle stretching exercise, range of motion.
But then you might start to look at it a little bit differently again if somebody was an athlete in high impact sports or whatever. You are going to move fairly aggressively in all sorts of weird postures. I'm just trying to catch the ball. I'm not necessarily thinking about moving gently to the ball. how about this? If somebody deadlifted, say for example, 100 kilo, which is a muscular exercise, do you think it's reasonable to expect a 20 or 30 kilo for a healthy athletic back with a Jefferson curl?
Yeah, I think you'd probably start at a low level, at a level that the person can accommodate, and then gradually increase the weight over time. I think the tissue will accommodate to a progressive increase in load, and as I say, over time with the light load, that will stretch connective tissue, but it will take some time.
Okay, so probably taking 2 or 3 times as long to progress it as you would from, for example, a deadlift.
Yeah, definitely. No, and you won't be achieving obviously the same deadlift weight. It's more like having a low sustained load over time, as opposed to building muscle with progressive overload, progressive heavy overload. Yeah.
Okay, great. So to sum up, this is not a great exercise if you have any current existing disc injuries, and if you have had them in the past, you probably should check in with Mark to see if it's a good idea to do this. But it is useful as sort of a prevention rather than cure problem, providing somebody's healthy to start with.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, agree with you.
Thanks.